What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I don't care if I don't care what kind of mother you are. If you're a dog mom, a cat mom, an animal mom, whatever kind of mom that you are. Happy Mother's Day. Okay? So, yep. I'm on my way to work. My schedule is Sunday through Wednesday, nighttime preferably. I don't mind working on a Sunday night. I mean, I kind of chose that schedule to begin with because I don't really do anything on Sundays anyways, but I could take the day off considering it's Mother's Day, but it's really, I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to go in. So, and it is extremely hot outside today, so if I'm in the guard check tonight, that's fine, better. But if I have to drive the Hustler, it's cool too. I don't mind a little bit of fresh air. The facility that I work at is all the way by the military base, which I kind of love driving by. I'm a military brat, Air Force family, so I kind of love being near the base. I get nostalgic every time I'm by the military base. Do I miss being part of the military family? Yes. I myself was going to join the military at one point. I was going to join the Navy actually right out of high school. When I was in Tacoma, Washington, we lived in Lakewood, Washington. Went to high school at Clover Park, graduated 2001. But yeah, I was going to join the Navy. I originally wanted to do Air Force, but I didn't score high enough on my ASVAB, so it was either Army, Marine, or Navy. And I vaguely remember my dad taking me to an Army recruiter. There's nothing wrong with the Army at all, but this is one particular story that I will never forget, or one pastime. My dad took me to an Army recruiter. Okay, that was our first stop. And I don't remember what we were talking about, but I vaguely remember the recruiter not really talking about anything that would help me, I guess. And so when we left the recruiter, all I remember was he talking about comic books. He said, he advised me to start reading comic books. Something about I could learn something from it. And I remember looking at my dad, because my dad always has this look on his face. Like he wants to say something, or it's hard to tell what he's thinking. It was almost scary, because it's like, yeah. But my dad didn't really react to anything. So I was like, okay, I don't know what this man is thinking. So we leave as soon as, whatever, see you soon, whatever. As soon as we got in the car, I remember my dad saying, we're not doing that. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, we're not doing that. I was like, he was like, because he didn't like the fact that the recruiter was advising me to start reading comic books. And I know it doesn't make any sense to a lot of people, but I understood why my dad would decline me going to the Army on this recruiter's behalf. Because, I mean, I honestly think, like, why would an Army recruiter advise me to read comic books? Like, it had, in my dad's eyes, he honestly really didn't talk about anything that my dad wanted to know in order for me to join it, which I completely understand. I was definitely not going to join the Marine. Nothing against Marines. I just by choice, I did not want to join the Marines. I wanted to join the Navy because it seemed a little bit more female-friendly to me. And that's just my opinion. I used to see this Filipino guy walk around our school. He was a Navy recruiter, Navy guy. Filipino guy walking around. He always had his dress uniform on, and he looked really nice. And so he just seemed like a friendly guy. I just remember, during my junior, senior year, I would see him walking by and I would say hi, and so I think I might have went up to him and was like, you know what, I'm interested. I'm interested. And he gave me some brochures and he made an appointment to come by the house and talk to me and my dad or whatever. And I told my dad about it, and he was like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, cool. So we made an arrangement. The Navy recruiter came by, talked about what I needed to talk to me about whatever he needed to talk to me about. And everything was cool. I felt like really, really confident about this. I went through the MEPS in Seattle, Washington. I was homesick. I just had to stay at a hotel for one night. We did our physical the next morning. Yeah, they fed us, whatever. I passed. I actually had to go by twice because the first physical, I did tell them that I injured my right shoulder in full class. During my freshman year in high school, they ended up doing surgery on it because I lost a lot of tissue. So I didn't have records of that, so they made me go back to the MEPS again. And that's what I did. My dad was like, you shouldn't have said anything. I was like, well, I thought about it, but, you know, I always grew up, my parents, you know, my dad was the kind of person like, don't lie. And that's what I did. I didn't lie. So when my dad was like, you should have said anything, I was like, oh, so I guess I am allowed to lie. I don't know. I was just doing what my dad told me not to do the first time, but I guess at this point it was okay. I love you too, Dad. But anyways, so we did that. I passed. So I found out, you know, I swore in this, you know, right before Christmas, whatever. The reason why I didn't join the Navy or didn't complete it all the way through is because by the end of that year, sadly, my parents ended up getting a divorce. You know, and my mom, she wanted to move back to Utah, which was her first American home from Thailand. On her first marriage, he was military. So she wanted to move back to Utah. That's where I'm from originally, the military family from my dad. So I was like, okay. My dad made that arrangement, but he was like, you have to wait 6 months for the divorce to be final, and then you can move. And my excuse to move, my true main excuse to move, yeah, I did want to be with my mom. But another reason why I wanted to move was because I was already failing a class. I needed to graduate. So that was kind of my excuse to move. I don't think my dad knows about that. But if he did it, I'm telling you now. I'm saying it now. That was another reason why I wanted to move, because I was failing a class. I needed to graduate. We ended up moving back to Utah from Washington State. You know, and I finished up. I had enough credits to where I had half days because it was block schedule at the time. So after my second, third period, I could go home. And where we lived at, you know, the school was literally a 15-minute walk from the apartments that we lived at. You know, by that time, like, I was kind of thinking, like, damn, like, I have to leave to go to Lake Michigan for boot camp by July 1st. You know, we just moved to Utah. Like, my mom's kind of going through it a little bit because of the divorce. Her and my brother were button heads at the time. You know, me being the older sister, I felt like I needed to be there to protect them, I guess, to watch for them. And I did cry for a couple days because I've always seen my dad come home from work every day. So for me not to see that anymore, like, kind of hurt me a little bit, because, you know, he did go back to Washington, you know, where he still had things going on, you know, with work, which is fine, it's normal, you know, but my dad, he still came to see me and my brother, like, every couple months or whatever. So, but that was one transition that I had to get used to after 17, 18 years of my life, was not seeing my dad every day. But we did communicate, which was still super awesome. My dad's a wonderful dad. I don't think he ever missed a day. So I asked my dad one day, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. He was like, what are you talking about? I don't know if I still want to go in. You know, if I feel like something's going to happen if I go. Like, what do I do? And my dad's like, it's up to you. And I think for the first time in my life, for my dad to actually let me make my own decision. Not in a bad way, but just kind of like, my family, like, my upbringing was very structured. You know, I mean, I had my moments, you know what I'm saying? Like, I misbehaved, this, that, and other. The household was very structured. So I didn't really, for my dad to actually let me make that decision, my own decision, which was like, not in a bad way, but just kind of like, it was kind of scary because I'm so used to my dad always making the decision for me. For him to allow me to make that decision for myself, I was like, wow. I was like, well, then I don't want to go then. And he was like, that's fine, are you sure? I was like, yeah. I just felt like I needed to keep it in my mom and my brother. So I kind of ditched the recruiter for a little bit, and I decided not to join the Navy. I'm kind of glad I did it because later on that year, the 9/11 happened. Now just think about it, like, I was going to join the Navy. Oh, I forgot to mention that I was my job title was gonna be a signalman. Not what I wanted to do, but because of my ASVAB score, that's what I qualified for. I wanted something more administrative. And I was in ROTC for 2.5 years, I believe, so that would bump me up a rate. yeah, that would bump me up a rank, especially for my age at the time. So I think I would have been an E2 or something. I might be wrong. It's been a long time. So I turned it down because I felt like I wanted to take care of the household, or at least keep an eye on my mom and my brother, make sure they don't kill each other. Then, let's see, I was going to go to Lake Michigan July 1st. Strangely, 9/11 happened that September. So just imagine, like, if I had joined and then that happened, like, I probably would not have came home anytime soon. I know my dad would have been freaking out. My mom would have been freaking out. Like, reason why I kind of didn't want to join too, because they're going to chop my hair off, like, above shoulder. And I had really long hair when I was 18. But I still had military privileges. I still had my ID card until I was 21. So I was always on the military base, messing around. You know, I made a lot of cool friends. I did go on the base a lot. Well, I wouldn't say a lot. I went on the base a few times. You know, we have the NCO club, you know, and it was kind of like a get-together. There's dancing, there's DJing. You know, I wasn't of age to drink. Of course, I wasn't. But I've met friends from the base that actually lived in my complex and in the area, because the base was like literally like right down, like 5 minutes from the apartments that we lived at. So some of the military people lived there. So on their behalf, some of them were 21 and older. I would meet them at the NCO club on the base. I think my first real alcoholic drink was a Long Island. I've never had tequila, so I don't, you know, it tasted good. He let me drink it, and it tasted really good. Did I get sick? No, I didn't get sick. I'm surprised, because I drank that like it was nothing. But it was really good. I had fun. I danced. I met more friends. I guess some of the people that I went to high school with, which I didn't stay long, but I still became friends with them at that time. I guess they knew people from the base, so we just all went up there, just like parked up, whatever at the time. So, but those are fun times. Those are fun times. I really do miss that. And I turned 21, and then I don't have privileges anymore. So I haven't been on the base since then. But I think I might have went on the base one time while I was out here. It was with a friend of mine a long time ago. And so that was about it. But every time I go to the job and drive by the base, like, I keep like looking in there like I want to go. So, but yeah, that's my little story time right before I hit work. I'm not too far actually, but I'll check back in once I get there. I'm at work now, and this is the yard that I have to work at over here. This is my building, and these are the third-party trucks that park right outside our facility. Probably because they're waiting on their load to get finished from our docks. And so, or they're probably too early for their appointments to come drop off. And so they wait outside. So, but yeah, that's the entrance to the guard shack. So, what's up everybody? I'm just now getting off of work. I had like the craziest night, but it was worth it. Very challenging, very busy, but yeah, I'm finally going home. It's damn near 5 o'clock in the morning. So my 2 little flowers that they were handing out for Mother's Day. So I'm gonna put that on my altar when I get home. But I hope you guys enjoyed your evening. You guys have a wonderful morning, whatever. And I will catch you guys later. Bye.